All right.
Okay. Let's call this meeting of the Ad Hoc Coherent Governance Committee to order. If you could stand for the pledge, we have a flag out on board docs. I pledge allegiance
To the
to
flag
the flag
of
of the United States of America
and
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't do that as well on Zoom as we do in person.
Yeah, it's hard to synchronize our voices, our words. Yeah.
We don't synchronize quite as well.
Yeah, we should just let one person say it, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think by law we all have to say
Oh, we
it,
all have to say it? Okay.
or else, and I'm a required reporter on that, so.
Okay. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Okay, the next item is the approval of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda.
I second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0, Robin.
Absent, and I need to take Dick out of that.
Okay,
And Rachel is coming in now.
Okay, great.
okay. Do we have any public
didn't.
comments?
I did not have any public comments.
All right, thank you. The next item is the approval of the May 11th minutes. They should be fresh in our mind.
Are they attached?
They're in
They're
board
on
docs.
board docs.
Oh, I'm in board docs.
Did you-
Yeah, I just read them, Robin, and I just had a couple things.
Okay.
Can you call it up and share your screen?
Oh,
Because
yes,
I
that's
don't
right.
I don't have two computers on today. I only have the one.
Give me a
And
second.
on this, and it's nothing big. It's just that a couple of bullets have a few missing verbs, and I think
That's fine. It's
yeah.
called rushing. I'm sorry.
Oh, please do not. You've got a lot going on. Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, scroll down to Okay, stop for a second. Okay. All right, do you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth bullet under action item?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it says the cross-check with the bylaws.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I mean, just everything else you had, like,
What's up? Can't hear you.
your action items, the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth bullet.
The cross-check with the bylaws?
Right, so what is, just the ones before that you had who was doing it, and is that what you were doing?
No, I had those, and then those were the things that I took notes that we were going to check, still check to, it wasn't assigned to anybody, but those were things that we were supposed to look at their bylaws, and so we were going to cross-check them. So I need to clean up that words.
Yeah.
It wasn't assigned to anyone, but we didn't cross-check their bylaws. We were talking about the things that we had gone through in the policy manual, and no one cross-checked the bylaws, and so that's what I was trying to say.
Okay, I guess,
So
yeah, that was one thing I did.
I'll clean it up. I'll clean that up.
Okay, and then up at the top, and I'm just having trouble seeing it, there was just something, I think, you were gonna upload all the motion summaries.
I emailed those to you all.
And,
Yeah, we got all those.
yeah, no, I know, it just said, some of the wording there was something, I think it was just
Okay.
missing upload, and so I think
Motions
that's
will
an
be
important
reviewed to
thing.
make sure, let's see. It's,
And
I'm
you know
so
what?
sorry.
no, that's all right.
No, it'd be easier if I had my other computer, but I don't have it with me right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Mine says Robin will email the motions to committee members. That's what mine says.
I should have written it in. No big deal then, sorry. If nobody else sees it, it's okay.
If you, when you get on your computer and you see it, just email me and I'll correct it.
I see it under highlights, the third bullet.
The committees, under,
The third bullet
Highlights.
under highlights says the motions will be
will be
reviewed.
reviewed to make sure they're included in the OEs, Robin blank. Okay, got it. Yeah. It should be email.
Right,
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
okay. And then reviewing the motions to make sure they're incorporated in the OEs. That was you, Rachel, because I did the same thing.
I was actually looking at the bylaws.
That's what I
Oh.
thought.
all right, I
Okay.
had them switched. I had them switched then.
Sorry, I just joined a second ago.
So David reviewed the motions and Rachel did the bylaws.
Yes, those were my notes.
All right, I will switch those and correct them.
Great.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve with the changes?
So moved.
I second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's 3. I'm missing an aye.
Oh, I said aye.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, 4-0. 4-0, I'm sorry. All right, the next is to review the OE matrix. And I think the to-do on that was to add the knots.
I did. Let's see. So. App not started like, I think, so right there in the OE5.
Mm-hmm.
So I added it and put the superintendent shall not develop the budget, and then it's 5.1 and 5.2. And then there's another one in OE6. So it's 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, and 6.4.
There's one in 7.
And 7. So then the 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, 7.5. There is one under construction, no, in instructional service. Let's see. Nope, it's discipline. In discipline, so I have OE 11. So there was like 5 in those. Some under facilities. And I added those in facilities.
Okay, on the numbering scheme, I know that when we cover the OEs as part of the policy review, we always have trouble by saying, oh, it's a not 11.1. Do we want to make a change to that and make it, instead of like 11.1, make it 11.8? It would.
Yeah, I think that would be, I like that idea because then it has its own number. And,
Okay,
you know, we could put in the parentheses next to the not if you wanted to, numbers 8 through 10 or something. But
okay.
I think that's a good idea. I don't know how Tricia and Rachel feel about that.
Yeah, I think, David, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just remember we had trouble when we were talking about it before. Always saying, oh, it's not number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where it's, the first one starts in OE5. So this should be like 5.10 and 5.11.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, so we have all the knots in there. Does that satisfy that task? I think it does, but
I think so.
okay. Let's, how about we do the write-up on the facts next?
Be
Or the
handbooks.
handbook, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All of that is up under the, under F, and I will pull it up on the screen. Okay.
And I just, in this one, this time, I just put the numbers there where we took it from that,
Mhm.
that sheet that we had, so I could, you know, check off that everything was included. Now, if you look at the table of contents, if you look at this sheet, can you see what I'm holding up? The one that listed everything.
Uh-huh.
If you look under 2.2, I think some of these were really, it's at the bottom, it says, it goes 2.23D, covered by BSR2, and then it goes 2.3. I think that was an error. I think those were typos. I think those were supposed to be 2.2s under governance commitment. Because when I looked at 2.3, there was no M, N, or O, but in 2.2, 3, Roman numeral 3, there was an M, N, and O. So I think on our sheet here, that was just an error.
Which one were you saying, Kathy? 2.
Under policy, under the governance commitment, policy 2.2.
Okay.
You had typed, and we had handbook written next to it, 2.3.
3, M, N, and O.
M, N, and O, but in 2.3, there is no M, N, and O. That's under 2.2.
Okay,
So that's, I just figured that was a typo,
all right.
because all of these were in policy 2.2. I don't think we took things from 2.2 and moved it to other categories. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What about 2.3, 4?
2.34, that is also, oh, that one, I didn't put in there, and I have a question, because look at, I think we put that somewhere else. 2.34 is the one that talks about that motion that David made to operate or not operate schools. So to me, that wouldn't be in the handbook.
Okay, that should be an OE.
Yeah, and I thought, I know I've seen that in an OE, but let me just find that 2 point. Let's see.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we made it an OE, because it's really not an OE.
No, okay.
But it's not, it's a policy, isn't it?
It's a statute.
It's a statute. Yeah, it's a statute.
So that's why it was going into the handbook, because it was like a law.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, then I'll put it in there and we'll add the statute number. Okay, I thought it was a policy and that we were adding a policy there. Let me just find.
And Ms. Robin, I did send you all the statutes last night.
You did? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
All those things that you sent, I think should be added to our handbook. The, like the FOIA information booklet, you know, maybe we just have a link to those.
Maybe. And I wanted to ask you all this, Mr. Stribinger, really, you know so much about Robert's rules. I'm wondering whether new board members need the Robert's Rules of Order, or if they need like an an outline of making motions and those kinds of things? Do you think that would be helpful for them?
I think it would be helpful for everybody,
It'd be helpful for everybody, yeah.
but it's so voluminous.
It is.
I'm not sure.
Because I was doing some research and I found a couple of things that I just want to show you all, and then we can talk
Yeah,
about whether you think it's useful or not. So
I think maybe putting a link into Robert, if there is a link to Robert's rules. I know you have to pay for that, so I'm not sure if there's a link to it.
and then would all the new board members, would they be given a copy of the book that we use for our work session that we did on coherent governance?
Yes,
Yes, great idea.
Yes.
Great.
everyone would get the book.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Why can't I find?
Along with their other books that have given in the orientation, like fund balance and so forth, that comes government finances. They were given those little pamphlets too.
Oh, good.
And I
Okay.
make those available. So
Yes.
they
we have-
get numerous different kinds.
I found on the school board's website a program that was done about education finance law. And I'll try to get that in a summarize. It had blocks with it. It looked kind of, I didn't think you'd want that in a handbook with blocks, like baby blocks on it. But anyway, I'll make a summary of an outline of that for y'all too.
Yeah, without the baby blocks would be
Without the
preferable.
data.
Yeah.
Because it was helpful because it listed the different types of funding sources available, which new board members need to be aware of it. So.
So we're going to add all of that information to the handbook. Kathy,
Yes,
when
so
we,
if I'm looking at 2.34 says, that's the one that says, in emergency situations, a majority of the board members present at a regular or special meeting may temporarily suspend. I was wrong about what 2.34 was.
2 point.
But the M, N, and O, that was definitely under 2.2. So
Okay.
look at
2 point.
2.34. We had 2.31 in the handbook under board policy. 2.34 we had listed to go in the handbook under governance commitment. So I did not put that in there, but so tell me whether I need to add that one in there.
I admit I'm a little confused.
Okay, so go to our board policies, our current board policies,
Right?
and look on page 8. And see under 2.3 board policies, Roman numeral 4.
Okay. Page, I'm so sorry. I'm just on page 8. Okay, I'm finally on page 8.
Okay, now go to Roman numeral 4.
Roman numeral 4.
In emergency situations, a majority of the board members present.
Maybe I'm looking at an old one.
yeah, me too.
Okay. See, that's the problem. Remember, I said when we have all this paper.
Right.
So
That's-
I'm going to pull the ones up online. Are you in your book? Say what policy was 2.4?
2.3.
Okay, I'm going to pull it
Roman
up.
numeral 4. Because my question is, when I'm looking at, again, this sheet that assigned everything, where we've said it,
Right.
when we did our crosswalk, that it was included. That was
Yeah.
listed under governance commitment. And I just thought
Correct. It is.
wasn't,
under- Yes, I have it under 2 point governance commitment.
Special call.
but see, I think that 4 should have been the 2.24, which is the one about the exclusive authority to operate and non-operate. It should be 2.2 versus 2.3. And I'll add that in there. See,
2 point.
So do I have the right policy up that you're,
oh, I can't see it. Do you have 2.2 governance commitment?
governance
Okay.
commitment?
All
Mhm.
right, and go down to Roman numeral 4.
Oh, Kathy, are you looking?
You know what it is? You're looking at the proposed policies that was done by Dowling and them. What I'm showing you is online are the ones that have been changed. What we have been working with have been the proposed policies.
That's right.
Didn't vote on. So I'm not pulling up the right.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. We've been working
Yes.
with the proposed changes that,
Yes. So I'll get those and pull that up.
okay. Well, I'll go ahead. Since the other ones that the N and O were obviously 2.2 and not 2.3, I'm sure that the 4 was, and the 4 it is that thing, and I understand now about the operating schools, why we're putting it in the handbook, because it's the law. I thought it was a motion and we were, making it, well, but that's the law, so I'll add that here. That makes sense, right?
Yes, and you're right. It was a motion and it was going to be a policy, but then we decided later on that since it's the law,
Yep.
we just leave it as a law. We didn't have to emphasize it.
All right, so I will add that in there. And David, you had other suggestions.
Yes, ma'am. The thing that you have at 231,
Yep.
I think it would be good to add something about, let me get down 231. It's talking about regarding policies can originate with a member of the board, blah, 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 blah. I think we might want to add something on there that it can also be motions passed by the board. I don't know. I mean, Rachel, I've talked about this before. So.
I came up with this statement, but I don't know. This is policies may also be adopted through board motion.
Yes, ma'am. That would satisfy it for
Good.
me.
Rachel, Trish, what do you think?
I think so, but I think there needs to also be a way to track them so that once they are adopted by board motion, that, when the practice needs to be that they're memorialized into the manual, I think, and reference given to when it was voted on so that historically people can look back and see what was the intent behind that if there's ever a question of it.
Right. And I don't know that would go in the handbook, that process.
Mm-hmm.
Where would we put the process?
I don't know. The motion is in a searchable database according to another policy.
Yeah.
The motion will be in the minutes, which would be in board docs.
Mhm.
Well, I think one of the jobs of the policy committee is going to be when a policy is adopted through a motion, I think it's that committee's responsibility to get it into the policy handbook, or not handbook, the policy,
Manual.
what do you think? Manual, don't you think?
Yes.
Oh, I agree.
They should be tasked with finding where the best place for it is.
Yeah.
Right. Then
Otherwise, it's just going to take up meeting time sitting there trying to
Right.
figure that out.
Right.
So should we could add policies may also be adopted through board motion and referred to policy committee for inclusion or to be included in policy manual?
And yeah, I'd write out the, whatever it is, the board, whatever the title is going to be. On the front page of this, it
Yeah,
just
what
says,
do we call it now?
it says board governance policies.
Yeah.
So Beaver
I
County.
mean, if you want, I can add that in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
And then the
Right.
staff has to make sure the appropriate administrative regulation is updated. We just need to always make a note of that, because Mr. Stribinger, remember that motion
Mhm.
about the 1% of the budget and those
Yes,
things.
ma'am.
I just want to make sure we keep up with everything for you.
yes, ma'am. I remember all the motions from the last year and a half now, because I've reviewed them all.
Yeah.
Robin, do you have your hand up?
I do. So if a motion
Trish.
is made and it becomes the policy, does it have to still go through 3 readings, or is it an automatic policy?
That was my question too.
It's automatic. A motion is a motion.
Okay,
And once it's passed, it's in effect.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, I think Trisha says she's muted and she's trying to.
Oh. Who has to unmute her? Molly.
She's
Okay, you're
unmuted.
good.
Are.
Okay, thank you. That was what I was going to ask more about the process. So is there something like maybe it would be the secretary's job to keep a list of those motions that would then have to the policy committee would look at, because the policy committee is not meeting on a monthly basis, or, I mean, that's not my impression that what it's going to be doing. So
Yeah,
I think it needs to be, to use Rachel's word, memorialized somewhere as to the process also.
Mhm.
Yeah, my thinking would be that the chair would assign it to the committee.
Okay. So how do you want me to rewrite this then?
Well, that's just my opinion.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if we want to put the, and I think that's, I think all committee work really should be assigned by the board to the committees, to what they're doing. That's another topic, but,
To,
William
And
has his
refer-
hand up.
to,
or something. I mean,
William?
you're muted, William.
Molly has to unmute him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I was going to. David took the answer right out of my mouth, but I was going to say once the motion is filed, then I think the chair should then give it to the chair of the committee, and the chair of the committee should take upon that at their next standing meeting. I think that's exactly where it should go, because that's not really within. That's not the secretary's. I mean, the secretary can take note of that, but that's not within the secretary's job or the purview of the secretary, actually speaking.
Yeah. So
Okay.
then the chair would then just have like a running list. So the next time they met, of how to get them into the location in the policy book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
So we'll say the chair will be referred to the chair for assignment to the policy committee or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll work on that. I think I got the general idea of what we wanted to say.
All right, my other comment was in 2.4 Roman numeral 8D, as in David or dog or Delta.
Oh,
I think,
yes,
I think we need to add future agenda items, because it's now a standard part. And
that's
and
right.
that was by a motion.
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
And Yeah, Robin, on my paper, after David did that, I did write future topics. Does that come after the public comments and right before adjournment? That's when we do future topics?
I'm looking at the agenda right now.
Okay, so I can make
It
sure.
comes before announcements, so it's board business action, consent agenda, future agenda topics,
Okay,
announcements, then second public comments.
okay, got it. I got it, okay. So I know what I need to do to bring this up to snuff. Anything else?
That was all my comments.
So do
Rachel?
you want me to leave these numbers here? I just put the numbers in there so that people would know where it came from.
I think it's confusing if you leave it in there.
Yeah, so just take the
Yeah.
numbers away and just make
Yep.
these like bullet points. Or
Yes.
just, okay. Got it.
Okay. So Rachel, are you okay now with that topic? Anything else?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Mhm.
Tricia, you're good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah. Nice work, Kathy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Speaking of nice work, let's go to the rewrite on the intro. How'd you like
Yes.
that for a lead in, Tricia?
Yeah,
Yes.
Coherent governance revised again.
my only question about this, weren't we referring to one of the district strategic plans as the state strategic plan? Because that's the one that was, that's how we were distinguishing, I don't know, between the
Yeah,
advanced ed one.
was rewriting this. And first of all, guys, I want to tell you, my internet connection's not so great. So if I zone out, I'll try to get back in as soon as possible. Kathy, I think that maybe we were, but I started just saying 5-year, like the Cognia 5-year plan. And then I referred to the district plan, because as I was thinking through it, I started using the word state. I was like, well, wait, this is not a state. And I just thought it'd be more confusing. So,
Okay.
but whatever you guys think. I mean, you're reading it for the first time. If it doesn't make sense,
Well, no, I think it's fine. I just remember the confusion we had about the different strategic plans. So I wanted to make sure that we could communicate effectively. And
Right.
maybe if that's the thing that we call the Cognia one, I always call that the Cognia or advanced ed, and call the other one the district plan, that'll take care of that confusion.
so before I prefaced that the 5-year plan, I put in advanced or Cognia. Maybe I need to bold it or make it closer, but I think I did put either advanced ed or Cognia 5-year district plan, before
Yeah, you did. That was good. Yeah. So I'm good with it. I just wanted to make sure,
Right. Guys, I'm still confused because what I talked to Joan Deary, and she said, yes, they adopted strategic governance in 2008. I remember Dr. Torrey saying the strategic governance and coherent governance are the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So in essence, the board adopted strategic or coherent governance in 2008. So,
Right.
Robin, you sent me minutes that said it was June 3rd, 2008 is when they adopted the policies, right? Well, if you go to the front of our manual that, the white book that all the new board members
Mhm.
got,
Mm-hmm.
it says adopted May 9th, 2008. So
The minutes were June, but when they started it, originally they put the wrong month because they were working on it in the month of May.
Okay, I just really want to be accurate.
Yeah,
But the formal adoption is the minutes that I sent you June 8th. So,
June the
Okay.
3rd.
so it's
June 3rd.
June 3rd. So that is the day that they did it. When they started originally, when they made, it was a typo on the May 8th, because that's when they started working on getting the documents together and copying them and so forth and so forth. But it went before the board for actual vote June 3rd.
Okay, so Robin, could you help me understand then, if the Beaufort County School District has been under this form of governance and it was in December of 2019 that we affirmed our commitment to apply this form of governance with fidelity, right? I
Yes.
mean, why are we having so many misconceptions about it? What happened from 2008 to 2019?
Those aren't misconceptions. They're spins.
Okay, because I mean, sometimes I'm rather literal and I try to be pretty. I mean, but this Beaufort County School District has been operating under strategic governance since 2008, and that is the same as coherent governance.
Yes, ma'am.
correct.
All right. All right. So David, if you don't mind, during our next board meeting, I need to correct a statement I made. I said it started in 2014 because last time we met, remember that date was blank and
Right.
okay,
Right.
and I was told 2014. So do you mind if during the ad hoc policy committee report, can I just retract that and say the correct date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. At the end of my report, I'll just go around to any other committee members.
Okay.
Want
All right,
to say
thank you.
anything? Something happened in 2014.
Yes, 2014 was the adoption of the new strategic plan.
Right.
The accreditation, the advanced ed strategic plan.
Plan, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that might be where the confusion, was.
Could be. Could be.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
where,
Yeah, maybe.
mhm.
Yeah, my only suggestion would be when we talk about advanced ed, COVIA, could we just maybe put in paren accreditation, or because that's the function they serve, right?
Right.
Those are the accreditations,
Yes.
because it could change from.
Okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that was my only comment.
Yeah.
All right, so I will go back in because both you and Kathy think, I mean, you guys said that it wasn't as clear as maybe it should be. So I'll go back in and make sure that when I'm referencing that, I link it together more so it's obvious that that's an accreditation type of
Right.
strategic plan.
Yeah, because if it changes from COVIA to something else, then we won't, well, we'll still have to update this, but
Yeah. It's
Okay.
the plan that gets us our accreditation. Right,
yes.
Yes, for 5 years,
for
right?
5 years, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on the intro?
Sorry.
Go
Go
ahead, Rachel, I'm sorry.
On this, I think it's, let's see, the second paragraph, second sentence, it says policies are the board's plan to govern. I'm wondering if that needs to be a little bit clearer. Policies provide the board's plan to govern, or outline or direct. Just, I was trying to get a little bit more clear on that second sentence. It just, for me, when I read it, I understood what the intent was and because I'm in this committee, but I was trying to maybe clarify it a little bit more so that people understood when they read this, that the policies are the guiding post for those things that are listed thereafter.
So would it be more effective to say something like, the board governs through policies?
Well, that, it says that right before that.
Yeah, it says that in the previous sentence. I was trying to
Oh, yeah. Okay.
provide clarity, saying that the policies themselves are contain the mechanism by which you do these other things that are listed out. The policies are what provide the plans for governance. The policies are what guide us in managing the affairs on a cost. You know, they provide that. It just, for me, it just read a little bit confusing.
Policies illustrate, policies determine the board's plan to govern, manage, or not determine, drive.
Yeah,
Policies,
something like that. Some type of,
How about policies are the board's tool to govern?
Yep.
yeah, I like that.
yeah.
Okay. Policies are the board's tool to govern.
Manage the, and then continue with the rest of that sentence. To govern, manage affairs on a authorized,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what they. Thank you, David. That's what I was trying to get to.
yeah.
Okay, so just change that word, that word plan to tool.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. What else?
That's all I had.
I don't have anything else. William, got anything?
No, not really. No.
All right. Okay,
Okay.
then we'll make those revisions and come back to it.
Okay.
The next would be the motion summary. Motions. I reviewed the last year and a half of motions, and it was like a trip down memory lane. And it certainly, I learned a few things. The first one was from last August 16th, and that was the instructional services technology purchased, reviewed, anticipated impacts. I think we already have that covered.
I thought we did, yes.
I think we put that in. The next was also from August of 16, or August 16th rather, and it was that a motion was made that out-of-state travel will align with stated board goals and require a report to the full board upon completion in a reasonable amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
The goal alignment will be evidenced on the district travel request reimbursement form. I don't think we have that anywhere.
I thought we had something about out-of-state travel, but maybe, Robin, do you remember?
I know they changed it on our forms, but I can't
Yeah,
tell you where we put it as a policy.
Because it said report to full board, right, Mr. Strivenger?
yes, ma'am.
I mean,
I
that
don't
was,
think that's been done. I don't think so.
I thought Rachel knows put it together as a policy when her and John Dowling was doing it.
it should be in GC 10. That's where it belongs. I just don't know if it's in
Yeah.
there. Let me look.
Yeah, well, let's see, double check this.
Because I know that there is district travel expenses, in-state, out-of-state. Yeah, it's not in here, but it should be in GC 10.
It is under B, GC 10, under expenses B.
B. Where in?
Although it doesn't go into each fiscal year. a travel allowance. It doesn't go into that, no, but that's where, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it could,
could be a C.
yeah,
That sounds good to me.
yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense. Robin, did you get that?
No, it should, I'm pulling up GC 10 so I can see where, you said it's GC 10?
Yes,
Big
And
time.
Okay, hold
under
on.
expenses, there's two areas. There's compensation and expenses, but under,
Governor costs, hold on, let me see. Okay.
and then keep going down to expenses.
Expenses,
And then
okay.
C would probably be the best place for that.
GC,
B
yeah.
expenses.
Let's see. David, that was August what?
August 16th.
16.
Okay. Got it?
Okay, yeah, the next one I have was, and I think we have this one covered, was from May 21st, a motion to roll all unused 8% funds forward, current bonding cycle, and reduce the current bonding bond issuance accordingly. I thought we had that covered.
I think we do.
I
I
thought I
think we
saw
do
that
as
too.
well.
I think that's in,
That's in,
I think it's in superintendent responsibilities, maybe. I'm trying
let
to-
me look at the
Or our
work.
communications.
Planning. Try GC 5.
Oh, sorry.
No, let's see,
Board committees.
that's not it.
Yeah, it's got to be in finance somewhere.
I think
Yeah.
that's an OE.
That's an OE.
Yeah, I was looking at OE6, but financial I don't see it yet.
I know I've seen it.
Or OE5, financial planning.
Asset protection, I don't know. That's not it. Let's see.
I thought it was under the OE that had superintendent or communication or something.
So OE communication is,
Communicating with the board. Maybe not. Maybe that's the $50,000 transfer one that I'm thinking of.
finance OE 6. Let's see.
I don't see it in OE6.
I don't either, but it seemed like it should be there though.
Oh, here.
See
Yeah,
it,
no, it's
Rachel?
not in here.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was. The reference to 8% projects is in OE6, but it's not regarding that specific requirement.
Okay, so we agree we should put it in
It should be in there.
the finance.
OE6.
Right? I would think so.
Yeah,
That's where it seems like it should be.
yep.
And that was from May 21st, Robin.
Okay,
2020,
no, it's
Um,
2019.
2019.
2019, okay.
We haven't gotten to May 21st yet.
Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, right.
David, was that the time that was a result of where there was excess 8% money and is that what that
Yeah.
motion came out of? There was some additional money that had not been spent?
Yes, yeah, we discovered in the operations committee meeting, yeah, that Robert had money in previous years that that he was not rolling forward. That he
Okay,
was
so that's where this motion, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
But I thought I saw something under finance when I was
I see.
putting, under facilities, I mean, not finance, under facilities.
Maybe it is under facilities.
OE 13, let's see if that's in there.
It's so crazy because I thought I remembered seeing this, but
E13, let's see. Let's see, unsafe instructions. Is this it, the shall not?
No,
No.
it's a
No.
shall.
oh,
No, I'm reading
shall.
wrong.
I-
5%. I'm
My
looking.
My
yeah, I
suggestion,
think we just add it. Yeah,
right, I would add it to finance because that's really a finance thing.
Mhm.
yeah,
It came out of operations, but finance is the enforcer on that.
right.
Yeah, it did.
OE6, okay.
Yeah. And David, what's the wording of that motion again?
A motion was made, let's see, to roll all unused 8% funds forward to the current bonding cycle and reduce the current cycle bond issuance accordingly.
Okay.
Boy, that's good wording.
That was your motion.
was your
I
motion.
didn't-
Motion.
I like that word, yeah. So we'll just add it to finance. If it turns out that it's duplicative when we go back through everything,
Right, yeah.
we can
Okay.
do it. Okay. The next one I have is from August 27, or April 27, I'm sorry, 2019. A motion that the board shall authorize purchases and/or contracts with value of 0.1% or more. I think we have this covered, Rachel.
We
Yeah.
put that, yeah, we've put that
Yes.
in somewhere. I
We
think.
have that covered.
Yeah,
I remember
Okay.
I
that
think
one.
that was memorialized in the last committee as well.
I thought so. And a motion that any contract 100,000 or more, we have that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And a list created of all external documents. I believe we have that captured. I know we do it, but I'm not sure if it's a policy.
Oh,
That
the
was-
document signed by chair?
Yeah,
yeah,
the monthly list of all external documents signed by the chair on behalf of the board.
That should probably go under,
Governance,
yeah, chair's duties or something.
yeah.
Let's see.
Page 23, chair specific duties. Let's see. Let's see. A monthly, here it is on page 24. A monthly list will be created of all external documents signed by the chair on behalf of the board.
Yeah, it's in there.
great.
Super. So we were a whole lot better than I thought we were at getting these things in, or the previous committee was better than I thought, getting all this stuff in. And that's all I had, a year and a half of review, that was it.
All right.
Great.
Okay, it's 3:54. Do we want to start talking about the bylaws, or do we want to defer that to the next meeting?
Whatever you would like to do, I mean, it's relatively quick, what I was gonna
Okay.
say, and I can probably give maybe a homework assignment for next meeting.
Okay.
When I looked through the bylaws, it looks like let's see, so the titles here that we have, subtitles are membership, officers, unexpired term fulfillment, meetings, quorum, voting method, legal representation. And so on my review, I believe that all of those are covered and or written in statute already, so maybe in the handbook.
Yeah.
With the exception of the legal representation area.
Okay.
So that one, we may just want to take a look at that next meeting and maybe look at that as homework and
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
I have a question
Yes, ma'am.
for, to put on the agenda. Do we have a scope, or did you all decide to talk about a scope to come out of ad hoc coherence? Is that something I need to put on Tuesday's agenda?
We have a scope. Kathy reminded us of that the last time, and it was from April.
Yep.
That was a motion in April.
There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things.
Yeah, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and codify OE 6 in reference to P2D and direct understanding, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was a motion that was made in April.
Right.
Okay, so
I'm
we
not
don't have
sure.
to, we don't need to put it on the agenda as a discussion for revising or changing anything.
No, ma'am, I don't believe so. Anybody else?
I
I
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, the revision was to be in line with coherent governance, and I
And
think,
when we're
right.
coherent governance, so.
right, by
Yeah, that's what I'm-
definition, we are that,
Okay.
you know.
So I think we're, after we do that, you know, the only thing that was still on our list was review and modify monitoring method and frequency and add revision dates.
Right.
I mean, we should be ready to segue into the other committee soon.
I'm hoping one more meeting.
Yeah.
Do you
Oops.
think that we need to do any proofreading? Or should we kind of just present
Yeah.
it and say that it has not been proofread, but
Well, we're really only presenting it to the next committee, right?
Right.
Or are we? That's a good point, Rachel. Maybe we should be taking it to the full board and say, this is our product, and
Okay, so this is what we've done and yet to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These things, I think, you know, and say, and we turn, because the board directed the development of a grievance policy.
mhm.
That was going to be my next question. Is that the ad hoc committee's responsibility or the standing committee?
That was the standing, that was the
Okay.
new, yeah.
Okay,
very specific things for
Yep.
both of these.
yeah.
I thought that there was an actual vote taken on creating a grievance policy.
Yes,
Okay,
That was in April.
okay.
So yeah, I think, Rachel, you make a good point. We should present this to the board, and if we do, we probably should proofread it.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's always good to do that before you turn in your assignment.
Yeah,
Yes.
we want a good grade.
yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
And so what we would be proofing is whatever changes Robin makes now and then gives us a new copy, right?
Of the whole, I would need the whole document so we can take the whole thing, put it together, so they
Yep.
can, instead of in pieces, so we can
Right.
see what the whole
Yeah.
what the whole document is, from the introduction, the charts, so forth, so that we're proofing one
Yeah.
draft copy of a one draft document.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Mhm. And I would think at our next meeting, the homework items we have could fit right into proofing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lot.
Yeah, as we go through it, we could just, you know,
We may be able to take directly from this, you know, these little 4 paragraphs that are here for the legal representation part.
yeah.
so, yeah, let's.
You want me to add that? Should I add that to the handbook then?
The legal representation
Yeah,
part? No, I wanted to read it over and probably have a discussion on it.
okay,
Because we think
all right,
parts of it.
okay. So I'll redo the handbook and take away those numbers and make those corrections that we talked about,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
All right, and I will make some little changes to clarify the introduction and to change the word plan to tool.
Mhm.
I will take the draft and take the red things out and start formatting it so that you can look at it in a clean version with all our changes that we've made.
Okay.
And I don't have anything to do.
Proofread.
But
You
I'll
have to
try
do the
to,
legal representation thing too. You gotta take a look at it.
Yeah,
I'll try to do a little proofing on what we have so far.
Yeah.
right.
Okay, let's talk about the next meeting.
Well, how long is it going to take you to do this, Robin? Is it significant or is it just only so in my mind?
It's significant if we're putting all the documents together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
What about next Thursday?
is that enough time for you, Robin?
Let's see, we have board meeting on Tuesday. Let's
We
see. what
have
on
Whale
that.
Branch Early College High School virtual graduation next Thursday from 8 to 3:30.
And I have Hilton Heads from 8:30 to 4, but I could be back at 4:30. I could do a 4:30 meeting.
I can do Wednesday. I was just trying to give Robin some time.
I would prefer not to do it at a board meeting week, so if we can meet the week of the 25th. So I
Okay.
could have next week to do it, and then sometime the week of the 25th.
What about the 27th? At Bluffton High School graduations from
Yeah.
7:45 to
No,
5:50 on the 26th. That's why I'm suggesting the 27th.
I have an appointment at 3 on the 27th, but I can always cancel it.
Yeah, and I've got a 4:30.
Okay. What, the 28th then?
That works for me.
Works for me.
On what
Works.
day?
The 28th, Thursday?
Sounds good.
Thursday.
Yes.
Yep.
What time?
I'm open, so
Yeah, I am too. So Rachel, what works best for you with the kids?
Oh, geez.
trick question.
Yeah, let me pull up my kid calendar here.
Okay,
28th for the kids. We're good anytime. Pretty
Okay.
much they'll be done with classes and whatnot. So
yeah.
You all give me a time.
3
3 o'clock.
p.m.
3 o'clock?
Is that good?
That's good for
Works
me.
for me.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. Got it.
Robin, if I came by that morning, would I be able to get a paper copy of it maybe?
Sure.
Or,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay,
Okay, I got that loaded into my,
So May 28th at 3 o'clock.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ad hoc.
And you all can wish me happy birthday that day.
It's your birthday?
oh, is that your birthday, David?
That is
Aw.
my birthday, yeah. Okay, I
I'll make
think
cake
we,
for you.
if we have,
Are you sure?
Yeah,
yeah,
You sure you want to do it on that day, David, or you want
yes,
to do it a
ma'am.
different day?
Well, I've done this birthday thing so many times. I've got it down pretty good.
You do.
So, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
okay.
All right.
All right.
It should be adjourned.
So moved.
So moved.
I'm, okay.
Rachel,
Rachel moved it. I second.
Okay.
Kathy.
And there's never any discussion about it, so.
Hmm.
You're
Thank you all.
adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye,
good
everyone.